So the two images in the gospel today that Jesus uses are very significant for me. They kind of mark how I see things. So I wanted to share that with you. As one is that the image Jesus uses of a net that's thrown into the sea, and it collects fish of every kind. And I just sort of think that in our parish, and as Catholics, we have to recognize that the church is huge. I often use the phrase a huge umbrella where lots of different people fit under this umbrella. And I think that's what makes us very special and Catholic and unique. And oftentimes I'm dealing with people who want everything exactly the same. And I'm like, I think it's very different if you celebrate Mass in Mexico, if you celebrate Mass in the United States, you celebrate Mass in a big cathedral, you celebrate Mass in the jungles of Africa, wherever it is, that we recognize that there are many people. And even in my own parish, I have liberal and conservatives, I have people more traditional, people who are loosely connected, people who are very connected, people who come to daily Mass, people who come only on Christmas. And as the church, we've got to keep them all together, right? We've got to kind of make sure that salvation is heard, the gospel is heard to all of them. And that's hard, I think, for us. And because I think in the other Christian denominations, you sort of fit where you best kind of match. I like this place, or I like that preacher, or I like that community. Where for us as Catholics, it's like, okay, no, here we come, all of us. And I think that image of that net that catches all the fish, and at the end of time, there'll be separation, but we all kind of fit in here. So when dealing with people who want a certain way, I always say, well, the parish should allow a lot of options. We have all these arguments. Oh, I don't face to face for confession or behind the screen. I'm like, whatever you like. We have kneeling for communion now. People receive on the tongue. People receive on the hand. People receive standing. Whatever you like. It's really, there's all these options. Choose the one that best fits you at this point in your life. Today we celebrate Ignatius of Loyola, but we have Jesuits, and we have Dominicans, and we have Franciscans, and we have people who are loosely connected, or often called, they're not very faithful. Others that consider themselves very faithful. And I'm like, you know what? We have to all see ourselves together here and working through this. And that's why I think also in the last one that Jesus gives us an image. So the sense of the net that catches everybody. We should try to bring them all in, right? And then the other image he uses is that the scribe who is instructed in the kingdom of heaven, I consider that kind of like myself, is head of the household, who brings from his storeroom both the old, the new, and the old. And as we do different things, people are like, oh, you're bringing the old stuff back. Why are you bringing the old stuff back? Oh, I really like the old stuff back. Or someone's like, oh, well, we're new here. This is a more contemporary, more progressive parish. All that stuff is going on. And then we recognize that we have to bring all of that into the storeroom of a faith. And that's as wide and as big as we are. And there are some people that still always want to hone in on one thing. And I'm like, yeah, that's not really us as Catholics. Catholics, you got to appreciate how vast everything is.